Okay, so we are now streaming. We are taking another crack at low stakes. Had a bit of technical difficulties when starting the stream, kind of just blinded away on one table. So that wasn't good. But now it seems to be up and running correctly, and so we are off into the races. In the bottom left, we have registered a $7 triple up. In the top right, we have a $5. The $7 triple up's kind of like a half step up for us. In the top right, we have a $5 hyper turbo, which is mostly what we've been playing, and in the bottom right is one of our shots, which is a $10 hyper turbo. But yeah, so hopefully this will be nice. I will hide my face behind my face, and we'll be off. And currently we're just on this one table, but we're expecting other tables to open. I think last time we took a shot, we kind of just thought people were messing with us more than they were, and we played back at them when we perhaps should not have. Not necessarily in like really bad spots, but I don't think we played our best. Last time, so far, we're kind of even on the buy-ins in terms of shot taking, but down in money. We've lost a triple up, and then we've done okay in the hypers. This should be our $5 one popping. We kind of just blinded away on one $5 one because of technical difficulties at the start of this. We blinded away on this board as well, but we got a good chunk of it back because we got dealt aces and we got some pre-flop action and managed to bust someone. So that's kind of what we're dealing with now. I will try to remember to keep the chat up, just in case. Haven't really told anyone that I'm streaming. I think I only have 2 followers on Twitch, so I very much doubt I'm going to get any viewers. But I am making VODs for the YouTubes. And we will call heads up for just a min-raise. Not a great flop for us in the top right. I think we're just going to check let it go. Yeah, we still don't have that much equity. We are going to bluff river if it gets there. Because we have no showdown value, so it's a good spot to bluff river. I think a really underbluffed spot in general is like the delayed c-bet, both in terms of people fold to it like more than they ought to, and then also because they don't protect their checking ranges to begin with. And also, I feel like usually when people check the flop and bet the river, they're actually like decently strong. So just as a like exploitative population thing, like usually they're checking back a medium strength hand and then bluffing, or not bluffing, but then betting for value on the turn more often than they are checking back a nothing burger and then turning it into a bluff on the turn. Flop bets are generally fishier than turn and river bets as far as people's frequencies go. Especially like bet flop, check turn, bet river is usually value is like one pattern. I mean vulnerable value, but that's kind of just the read we have on this population. We might play the hand in the bottom left if it folds to us. I think that'd be a little loose, though. I think we should play it sometimes. Probably not. If it was 7-10, I think. Or 8-10. But 6-10, just a little bit too loose. And in the bottom left, we do not necessarily have to chip up. Because we just have to arrive in third place with 1 chip, and that is it. You get no additional money for being first. In fact, there is no first. Everyone just it ends as soon as it gets down to 3 players. And so this means we'll have to play a little bit differently on this board than we would on the other 2, because ICM is a lot stronger when you get just as much for third as you do for first. And ICM is, I forget what it stands for. It might be individual chip math, where the value of the chip is calculated in dollars, not in terms of chips. Because if you have one chip, or you have 10,000 chips, when it gets down to the last three, it doesn't matter, you get paid the same amount. And so that one chip, holding on to a chip, is much more useful in general than accumulating a chip. But it's especially true on these triplet boards. It's not true in cash games, but we're not playing any cash games here. So for example, in this top right, getting to second place means you get in the money. And so sometimes you are in spots where even though you have a hand that's fairly good, you still need to fold because just getting to second place is worth more than potentially like doubling your chips. So we get a decent hand in the top right. If people play super soft into us, we will look to jam. We're going to call this. We already have too much money invested to fold here. He has a ridiculously strong hand for his range, or what his range should be, but we get lucky because that's poker. We will not play the 9-3. Something I'm not, or that I like wasn't, I initially played mostly heads up, and something I was initially not very good at was recognizing this might be an open jam in the top right, because I think we're going to play it as raise fold. We are going to raise over the top of this open limp. It's generally weak. This is kind of a type of hand we would normally, actually this might be a raising hand anyways. So you kind of want to raise your weakest suited kings. So I don't know if it's king 9 here or king 10 for us here. This is kind of not the type of flop we want, but I also think this is the type of flop that's going to miss him a lot. So I think we're going to exploitatively bet. We're going to bet small on this flop, because we think he misses this flop a lot. And he folds. That was definitely not like king 10 of clubs there is kind of not it for us. Or it's not a very good selection as a bluff. But we were more just doing it because when you 3-bet and then it comes no broadways, a lot of times your opponent's just not going to have a hand. A little bit of a disciplined fold in the top right. We flopped really good in the bottom right with a gutter ball, 2 overs, and a flush draw. So we are going to look to just raise it up and then jam the turn and just take our equity. And we're just going to get it all in here. He has top pair, we have tons of outs. We hit our outs. I would make a joke about having too many outs, but it's a little early in the session for that. We'll make that joke later. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I'm planning on posting this to YouTube, so hi YouTube. And then I'm planning on no one watching my stream, so hi all. We're just going to jam in the top here because it's free, because we both were going to play the board. Maybe small chance that he folds or somehow misreads his hand. We get a little bit unlucky in terms of running into him calling, but he gets unlucky in terms of the run out. We still have a lot of equity when we're called there, and maybe people are going to start calling us a little bit light. And that's something to keep in mind because they think we're shoving too wide, but I don't think that was too wide a shove. Maybe it was. This king 6 is certainly not. And if he's taking this long, we probably have the best hand. We got to remember that this is the $5 table, this is the $10 table. Or it's actually probably better we don't remember and we just play our strategy. Jack 4 was a little too weak. If we were shorter stacked, or if it was just into this guy, we could jam, but since we have to get past this guy, that's like 20 blinds, we don't want to play the jack as like a raise call, we don't like want to raise fold it, it's a hot mess. We will call either of these two guys, and we'll look to fold to this guy if he jams on us. We're not very happy that we have to call, but I think we have to call here. And we are just running Omega Hot. I like betting for protection here, because it checks through twice. A little 5x raise, 5x open. And we're going to call in the top right. We have an ace. It's unfortunate, but we've been running so good already that, you know, it's a bit tough. We are going to raise in the bottom right. It's a bit of a small raise, and we get in the money in the top right. We expect him to jam over quite a lot, and he just calls. We will want to bet this. We'll want to bet around a third pot in the bottom right. We would bet a third pot with a lot of our bluffs, and he's just jamming and saying, "I don't believe you." Unlucky for him, I guess. Unlucky for us, I guess. This is more so the one we care about. We're gonna raise. Be agonized if we get raised. Let's see. We're just gonna fold in the top right. We have no showdown value. And in the bottom right, this is one of the weaker kings we're going to raise, so we're going to check back. It's also a very dry board, so we'll just look to play it slow. And in the top right, we get a raise. We'll just come in for a call. This hand plays pretty well post-flop. And we will look to jam in the bottom right. He bets half pot into us. I don't think we have to defend lacking a diamond. It's kind of an okay flop for us because we can hit a lot of runouts that we gain some equity, but we'll just fold. He also 3x raised pre. I think this is a jam for 12. It's a little close. I'm just going to fold it. We're going to bet here in the bottom. We're going to bet a little over third pot. I like doing this on this pair of boards where it's hard for them to hit. We're going to fold in the top right. A little card dead. We're going to play this as a raise fold. And we will fold. Yep, not getting good hands dealt currently with what's going on right now. We're going to jam over the top of this limp. People aren't usually balancing their limping ranges, and he's been raising as well. And so I think we would just jam any two cards there exploitatively, with the understanding that we will have to lock it up a little bit after we do that once or twice. Or not necessarily have to, but it is what it is, you know. We will fold in the bottom right. We're going to play this as a jam. We don't really want to play it as raise call. We run into a strong hand, so a little bit unfortunate. But it is what it is. We're still got second place in this top right, assuming we do not make the mother of all runbacks. So, well, I guess it begins. We have to go with whatever hand we have, and if he folds, that would be fantastic. But obviously, he's not going to fold. Okay, and we will sit another one of these, and we will record our second place. Yeah, overall, I think we got pretty lucky on that table. Of course, we have to deal with the new table lag. Anytime we open a new table, we lag to hell. And, yeah, tons of lag. Just trying to do the things. Alright, we're going to jam over in this bottom right. This might be a little bit loose for a jam, but we kind of want to punish the limps. We know that people as a population are not, they are not defending their limping range as often as they should. We want to jam in the bottom right, but experiencing some technical difficulties. Did that guy in the bottom left show deuce 7 after bluffing? I think he might have. This maybe would play as a raise fold. We're just going to fold it. Nice to be so far making it pretty deep on our table where we're taking a shot. That way when we fail, it'll hurt that much more. We're going to just fold the 6-5. Maybe that's a call there, but I don't think it is. 3x, we're also just kind of overfolding in some spots. The 5x open, definitely don't need to play against that. If it folds to us somehow in the bottom left, which it won't, we're just going to jam. We're going to jam over a limp, too. This guy's had some... We still might jam if he just raises, though. Really not sure. Maybe it's a little bit too much of a spaz, and we can't jam for that much. But we're also starting to get short stacked. I don't know what this, like, super long timing means. I'm just gonna 4x it, and if this guy back jams us after going to the clock, I'm going to fold. Under the assumption that he's trying to just be cute with aces or kings or something like that, and we just, like, really don't have much of a shot. If he calls, I'll be a little agonized, because he could still have, like, aces or kings. I heard the jam noise on this table in the bottom right, and I, like, got nervous. So we're just going to check back. Or we're going to check. We have one of the weakest aces we could possibly have. We're going to check again. There's a lot of draws, but now we're going to bet for value. If we get, like, jammed on, we're going to be, like, sick to our stomachs. But Queen 6 suited. That's a weird, interesting way to play that. Get a little unlucky in the bottom right, but it's okay. We are going to be jamming this for 8 blinds in the button. We are at a very high variance stack depth here in the bottom right, which is a bit unfortunate. And this guy 3x's us again. We have to keep in mind that he's... Or is this a new table? I think this is a new table. Never mind. We don't have to keep anything in mind. We're going to have to go with it in the bottom right. Ugh. So, in the bottom right, if it folds to us... Oh, it doesn't. Kind of a weird spot in the bottom left where we don't really want to play... Don't really want to call with the jacks when he's just min-raising. If he was 3xing, we would just call with the jacks, and the jacks are a bit of a vulnerable hand, so normally we'd raise a little bit less than 3x when we have position. This guy min-raises. That's an interesting thing. I guess we're just going to call behind. And, like, if they get it in against each other, I don't know what we do. Because we do have quite a strong hand. We're going to jam in the right. And we get a pretty good flop. He bets pot, so generally speaking, we think pot is like pretty high value. This guy didn't bluff when he had a really good chance when we checked to him after 3-betting him, so I'm just going to fold. I think this fold's a bit exploitative. Unfortunate. He was bluffing. Pot size bluff. Don't always see it. I am going to raise if I can stop lagging in the bottom left. But, you know, so it goes. In the bottom right, we have to be really concerned with how short this guy is. This means we will want to play, like, a lot fewer hands. We will definitely call, even though he's leading into us. And we will look to raise, I think. Because we have decent equity. I think we have... Maybe we shouldn't have raised here. Do we just have to call? Yeah, we just have to call. He has a set. We did get second place in the $10, which is nice. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't raise there. Maybe we should just fold. I kind of maybe overplayed the straight outs and the overcard outs. I'm not sure. Apparently just really good at getting second place with these. Up $4 on the day so far. But we are almost certainly losing this one, so... we will populate the algorithm later. Although, we can play, like, jam fold. We have a nice stack to be able to, like, play jam fold and stuff like that, so... And we're going to put a note. This guy leads with... He led into pre-flop aggressor with second set. Maybe that's also a reason we should just fold. That's been like a classic population read that we've had, is that maybe this is an open jam, but probably not through this many players. But yeah, that's a classic like read we've had on the population, is that when they lead, they're generally not screwing around. So I think, yeah, maybe we should have just folded. We definitely should have just folded, actually, I think. I think maybe it's an exploitative fold. I think we should ask ourselves what we think his lead means, though. And if it's not folding, there's not much sense in us raising. We will go with our hand in the bottom left. If people just open limp, we're just probably going to stop and go, unless we... So if it's just this guy open limping, we're going to stop and go him. If multiple people come along... I guess if this guy calls, we'll just check and then stop and go. Because I don't think they're folding for just a little bit more pre-flop, but they might fold post. So I'm just going to check and then jam any flop. Oh, we happen to get a decent hand. We're going to want to jam to protect here. Alright. Get a little bit lucky in the triple up. Need to continue to get lucky. If it folds to us, we will jam the jack 5 off. And that's kind of our game plan now, is mainly just, if it folds to us, we'll jam pretty wide. We need to accumulate chips. We need to start getting up there. This guy should have a pretty wide calling range as well. Well, of course he's calling that. Flops is dead, basically. We will not sit another one of these, I don't think. Oh, we're not completely out yet. Well, if it folds to us, we're going to jam. For 2 blinds, we actually just might need to go with this. Even if this guy... If this guy limps, I think we're going to jam. His limping ranges have been weak, and we know he like has a multiple X-rays, so he has like a bifurcated range. I don't know what this using his time bank means. He did it with Queen 6 suited earlier, and then eventually limped along. We're just going to jam over the top of this. Get a little unlucky here, it looks like. And now we will look for another table to sit. Yeah, we will have to record this later, that we missed the triple up, because we don't have the math for it already, which puts us down about $3 on the day, which isn't too bad. Obviously isn't too good either. And we'll just play a 3-table sit and go for $10. Okay, I think we're in it. We love it. It's about to fire. It's got a ton of money up top. This is going to make this a really long session. So normally we would min raise here, but we're going to 3x. And this 3-table sit and go means this will be a long session. These take a while. We will have a break at some point. We'll just call along with the suited ace. I think, actually I think we should have raised over the top. Oh well. It is what it is. We get squeezed. We probably should fold here. We're just gonna fold. A little unfortunate. I mean, we're gonna call the min raise from the guy who's got 160 behind. We expect him to jam a lot. we're just gonna fold after this guy calls. If he doesn't call, maybe we can continue. But I think we've had enough of this hand. This is a hand we're gonna look to squeeze with fairly often in the bottom right. It has a lot of equity when they have a better ace. And the question is do we want to like 5x or do we want to... We can open jam maybe in the top right. I think this is kind of loose. Like we'd feel much better if we were the cutoff. Okay, well we hit ace 5. And generally this is a type of board where after we 3-bet we're going to bet small on anyways. I think betting small is just fine. It keeps their range wider. They overfold this spot anyways. But we also don't want to get them to get free cards if they have broadways there or if they have a flush draw. And so I really like betting a third pot. They overfold that spot anyways though. But we were kind of hoping he would have an ace and just stick it in and then we would have 2 pair and we would be good. We were going to call the min raise with the jack 8. Not a very good flop for us. Although we aren't going to have a lot of good hands here. I guess we're got to call mostly with our suited type hands. And when he bets a third pot, we're actually just going to come along here. We hit a piece. That piece is going to cost us money though. Alright, well we're going to bet half pot. Try and pick our price here. We don't really want to go in for 3/4 pot. I think if he jams, we're going to fold. Yeah, he was just trying to, on the flop, he was just trying to buy a cheap price on his bluff. So I'm glad we managed to find a call with the overs to the second pair. Like, we do not call there if he bets half size pot or bigger. We're going to jam in the top right if we can stop lagging. Please. Fuck, man. Such a good spot. God damn it. Really annoying when we, like, have a technical issue, you know, and it causes a problem. Relative to, like, when we have a poker issue and it causes a problem, because... Oop, is someone in the chat? No, no one's in the chat. I don't know why it was lit up in our thing. Because, like, if it's poker, if you get bad variance in poker, it's like, oh, well, that's just part of the game. But when you get bad variance because of technical stuff, it's like, it just, like, feels extra bad. I don't know. Hooah. We are gonna raise. If we get re-raised, we'll be in a little bit of a tough spot in the top right. Probably just look to fold, because I think people just under bluff. We're gonna check in the bottom right. This could be okay as a 3-bet, but it's fine. We're gonna check raise this flop. We have backdoor flush. Now we're open-ended. We're gonna bet 3/4. Is that what this is? And we're gonna jam in the top right. Hoping to get it through. Threes have decent equity when called, but don't function very well as a call. Brutal getting called by the 5s. We will all in with the ace-king. So we do place 5th in the tournament. Oh, and we got knocked out with ace-king. I didn't see what he had. We will... Let's see. We will look to make it kind of big. We don't want them to come along with a king or a ace, really. So we want to charge those overcards more. We would make it smaller, maybe, if it was... Alright, we're just going to rip it over the top in the bottom left. So maybe this settling in for a long day, and it won't be such a long day. Could make an argument for just flatting the queens, but we're really far ahead of. Yeah. He ended up having ace-queen when we shoved the queens, and my feeling was that most of the time he's going to have ace-king there. He will occasionally have ace-queen, and he'll have aces and kings. And I think we just have to go with the queens. Maybe if we were later in the tournament, we wouldn't go with the queens, because... So it's a 27-person tournament, 3 tables, and, you know, it's a spot where you expect people to play loose and not very well towards the end, and then those people who play loose and not very well are going to get knocked out. Or, sorry, play loose and not very well towards the beginning. And then those people will slowly get knocked out of the tournament. And so, if you're expecting people's ranges to look a little bit wider than they perhaps ought to be, I think, like, from his perspective, a person's probably doing it what I did, raising quite large with jacks and tens, and I think I'm doing it with jacks. I don't know if I raise as big with tens. I'm certainly more nervous about rejamming tens. I might play jacks the exact same way. Just, like, kind of shrugging my shoulders and being like, okay. But ace-queen's not doing well against jacks. So he has to think, I'll continue with ace-jack for that play to be good. For him to 4-bet my squeeze. Yeah, if I have ace-queen there, I'm probably just flatting. Although I'm probably getting stacked when the queen comes and I have top pair, top kicker, and they just have a set. So... we can take a look at, since there's not a whole lot going on, we can take a look at what the prizes look like. So for this tournament, it pays out to the top 5. It's $10 buy-in, and 5th is 21, and the very top is 100, basically. So it's really weighted towards the top. So now accumulation of chips is important, although it's going to take us probably a little over an hour, like an hour and a half to play this entire tournament. So we might switch back to just all $5 tables on the right instead of 5 and 10. We're down. We started the day up 24 on the month, and now we're down. So we're down like 18 so far today, which isn't. It's kind of neither good nor bad. It's like just variance. Don't think we need to play ace deuce here. So in general, we're just going to play a lot. In general, we are going to play a lot more conservative into people's open raising range than we are their open calls. Because people have split, they like call and they raise, which is like really bad, because you just play aggressively into their open limps and you play passively into their raises. So you just like, you don't need to raise them as a bluff. And you can also squeeze for value a little bit wide. Got blood on the first hand in the top right, it looks like. Or second hand, rather. We are also third in chips, because we just doubled through somebody pre-flop, basically. Already 3 people out though, so that's kind of moving at a decent pace. So about it. Well, I suppose if I knew how to put delay on the stream, I probably ought to, just because the tournament in the bottom left. Oh well. If they get me, they get me. There's a weird raise sizing in the top right, a little less than 3x. We will just call the queen 10. Maybe if we get 2 calls in front of us, we can fold. Probably fold to the jam. And we are lagging. He's king into 5s. Yeah, 5s are tough to play there. I don't know if I think you jam them. Maybe you do. They're tough because you're not really deep enough stacked for calling to feel good, so it's either a fold or a jam. We're going to try and call along in the top right here. If we stop lagging. There we go. Don't flop very well. We have backdoor straight draw, but we don't really need to play at it. Kind of looking just for flushes when we try and see a cheap flop like this. Certainly folding to 188. I'm not sure if you can see. Oh, you can because it's not streaming the game yet. Just getting this lag business. Doesn't matter too much because we want to fold anyways, but we do want to be able to say we're back. Interesting that we're somehow in a hand. Table fired late. In the top right, I think we can open jam this. We're going to play it as a raise fold. It's 13 blinds. Which is kind of sick when he re-raises us, I think. Which we can't tell what's happened yet. He does re-raise us. It's just a min-raise. So we will call. And this is like, if I could name a flop that I like wouldn't want to see, it'd be like one like this. We're just going to call with our draw. We don't hit any extra equity. We are going to raise a little bit. Not too big. We hit our hand. So we're going to all in. Bit lucky here. Gonna raise with the king queen off. Gonna fold in the bottom left. Hopefully this VOD is not too choppy. I am lagging quite a bit. This guy jams over our min raise. Weird raise sizing from this guy. He's been doing unusual sizings. Most people either min raise or 3x. His bet sizings are weird too. I guess he's using the slider. The bottom left, we have a bit of a rough hand. If they raise really large from one of these early positions, we're just going to flat. Other than that, we're going to re-raise. We will re-raise a cutoff open in the bottom left. We hit top set, but with one of our weaker sets, so we're just going to check it. We also block some of the straight draws. I'm going to 3x in the bottom left. I think we could just call. Look to jam later. We are going to want to play for our entire stack here. Was it Jack 9 is the nuts, but we block it. We're going to all in. So this is the type of flop where we have like 2 low cards and it's going to miss him a lot, where we're going to raise in the top right, or we're going to play, we're going to bet. We also have a backdoor flush draw, so it plays pretty well. We're going to bet quite small because it's hard for him to have something, and people do not defend these types of flops often enough. We're going to shut down now, though. We're going to wait before we check a little bit, though. Act like we're thinking. I like betting half pot and then calling when he jams here, I think. In the bottom right. And we managed to spike a pair, so we will bet it in the top right. It's going to suck for him if he has a 10 or whatever, but... In the bottom right, we're going to be good there most of the time with the ace high, and we also have the backdoor flush if we're not good. Normally I like checking the ace back for protection, but we are short enough that I like betting it for value. Because it was Jack 7-4, so he's not going to have a lot of 7s and 4s in his range. We have a little gutter ball. This would make a cute little raise here, actually. I think we'll do it. We're going to check raise, and then kind of be done with the hand. He folds. We had backdoor flush draw and a gutter ball, and so we would bet if a diamond came, and just kind of probably shut down otherwise. And we could keep betting. Wouldn't be terrible. I'm going to raise fold in the top right here. I'm going to fold in the bottom right. The main difference is, in the bottom right, when you're in the small blind, you won't have position. In the top right, we do have position. It's a little thin here. I'm going to bet third pot again. He folded before. This is, again, a flop where it's hard for him to connect. And so we're betting mainly on the back of that, but we do have some backdoor equity. Gonna bet a little under half pot, and then look to check back the river. We're betting mostly to protect our 9. Somebody put something. Somebody put something in my drink. Somebody. Gonna be going to the gym after this. Ugh. Don't know if I'm supposed to call this for 5 blinds. Think it seems borderline. Seems borderline. I'm just like, it's so, I just get so disgusted when it's a spot and I just like have no idea how I'm supposed to play it. This is a jam, right? So it's like, but when it's like close, it's tough. Or that's like the easy time to get frustrated. We are gonna jam over this. We have quite a strong hand. We are gonna call, well, we're just gonna fold with the 10-3, but again, weird raise sizing from him. we're gonna jam on him if it folds to us for, this is 8 blinds. We are the big stack, but just barely. Ooh, I don't know whether I'm supposed to play this as a raise fold or not. I think I'm just gonna fold. It's one of those spots where I'm just not sure. If this guy min raises, okay, I was gonna say if he min raises, we'll just look to get it in. This is a raise, call this guy, fold to this guy, I guess. 3x raise, looks really strong. Just gonna fold. This guy bets absolutely huge. This is basically a jam, and we just have a gutter. And we are gonna have an ace a ton in that spot when we're like open raising. So just fold, I guess. Kind of don't like it. It like also stinks a little bit like a draw. I don't know. Hopefully, like, so it's like lagging on my end. Hopefully it's still like recording okay. Run into queens in the top right. A little unfortunate. Are gonna jam over just about anything. The king 6. We have a gutter and a middle pair in the bottom left, so we're gonna look to play this pretty fast. If I can stop lagging. I think this is jam in the top right. Or sorry, bottom right. Guess we fold. We're gonna just jam this in the bottom right. Well, we have a decent, it's a coin flip, it's a race. Not looking too good. Ace 9 will play as a jam. I think we'll just fold the queen 9 down here. We will jam this for 6. Just keep getting these coin flips. Really not. Yeah. Just not doing good on the coin flips is like the thing. Oh my god, I don't know what this lag is about. We have to call with the A7. We're ahead of his range, and he just spikes it. A little frustrating, losing a string of all these all-ins. I don't know, not much to be done though. I think in the top right was one of these. I think it's because it's getting hot. It's starting to heat up our computer, and that's why we're lagging. Maybe. Gonna jam with the queen 9 for 3.5 blinds or whatever. Ace 10. We're gonna raise over a limp, play it as like a call. We're gonna look to play this pretty fast in the top right because there's so many broadways. I'm gonna make it look. I'm gonna raise a little bit bigger because to make it look like. I think it looks like we're trying to steal this guy who's sitting out blind. So I expect to get called a little wider. Gonna turn the fan in my room up a little bit. Same deal. We're gonna 3x it. Good caller this time. I think we'll just play this as a... Well, we could play this as a bet or a check call. This is one of the weaker aces we're going to have here, so we're just going to play it as a bet. Hard for him to hit. On these paired boards, I like betting a third pot because people just do not protect enough. And you also bet a third pot when you hit a queen. You're not just betting a third pot as your bluff. When you're trying to get value. We get it in okay in the bottom right. And we win an all-in. Which is nice after losing several in a row. We are going to be all-in again with this ace-4 off. We're shoving it technically for a 10, which is a little bit scary into the big blind, but the other two are relatively short stacked. Really hate it when he calls, and we are in bad shape. Yeah, just kind of running into it in a little bit. Oh, I hate it when they do this and then they just check down. I'm gonna 3x in the bottom left. I mean, hopefully this deuce is good, but it's not. So we are out. We're going to check the bottom left and probably fold to a bet with the 9s. We will have a fair amount of kings and aces and other stuff which plays much better. Record our loss here. So far on our shot taking, we are down 1 buy-in overall. We are going to play till we've played 10 buy-ins this large. Gonna look to re-raise over whatever this guy does, and also call if he jams. In the bottom left, I mean. We are raising for value. We have the ace of clubs. I like betting on these types of boards. I think this is kind of a board we should bet small on. We're just gonna bet 222. Easy for him to miss, because he won't have a king a lot. We're just going to check back. Up here, we're going to raise to 120, I guess. This is such a weird jam lead. It looks super bluffy. So, like, what he's saying here is he has an 8. And, okay, to some degree, it, like, looks like an 8, but I bet on the last board, why wouldn't you just keep going? And then if you have an 8, you're just like calling. I don't know. I think we can fold here because like we can just call with our kings, but like this smells funny. Weird turn lead after calling. We're just gonna take a note and like be sad, but also like I mean we also didn't bet very big on the flop, so he might just be thinking, oh, I don't want them to give him free river. Yeah, I don't know. I can buy the story that he limps an 8 and then calls a 5x from the small blind, though. Like, I can buy that. I can also buy that he just decides to play a king like that. I don't think it's good, but I can buy it. I think we jam this if it folds to us. You know, 12 blinds for queen 8 seems like a reasonable jam. And then we'll play this as a raise call. I wish we saw how he played this exactly. He didn't try and play it for all the money, even though he had a straight. I don't know. I wasn't watching. I wish I was watching here. I feel like that might have been important. Down to 18 tables in the bottom right, so this is actually, this one's kind of flying. We're only 30 minutes in, and we're down 9 players. We have a really big stack to our left. We are now 6th in chips after our run-in with this guy. We're just going to continue to play pretty snug and just kind of a bit of a waiting game. It's nice to be on 2 boards. We kind of just had a string of not very good luck in our all-ins. It's a little frustrating, but you know, that's the name of the game. I'm going to love raising this guy if he raises. Just because I guess I don't like him. We have to call on the top right, I think. So we've been 3xing, we're just gonna 2.5x here. And we win in the top right, which is nice. I think we hit a straight. And I think this is a rip. We're gonna have a lot of equity when we're called, and we have a lot of fold equity. A little bummer not to get any action in the bottom left with the kings. Just a little bit. Picking up blinds is pretty solid. I think we jam in the top right, with the understanding that this guy in the left has got a weak range, and this is kind of something we would jam anyways. But he calls. Oh, he calls with the aces, so protecting his range. Okay, I can get behind that with the call with the aces. And we win the side pot. Yeah. So we'll just keep it in mind that this guy limped aces. If you're going to protect your range, that's how you do it. So I don't hate our move. If he limps, we're going to 3x him. This is a bluff. We're doing this with our lower suited kings. And this is going to play really well as a spot to bet. I think he overfolds this spot. Now we're going to bet a bit larger. We're going to look to have it all in by the river in this top right board. And we're going to jam the 4-9 suited for 5.5 big blinds. Oh, what are we doing? We got to move our table so we're not confused. We're going to jam the jack 6 suited. This guy has some ICM considerations. Not too bad. We are fairly deep stacked though. So I think we fold the 4-5 off. We especially don't mind preserving like a small stack. We are gonna jam if it folds to us though. He's gonna have to get it in like sooner or later, and he's getting kind of short, so I like his call. We're gonna limp along on the bottom right. It's kind of easy to punish us. We're hoping to just spike a set and get it against someone. We get punished. Shame on us. Generally, people don't punish enough in that spot when there's like a bunch of limpers, and so we tend to do it. We are going to raise pretty large in this bottom right, and just look to get in. We're going to fold the top right. Maybe that's incorrect. Didn't really want to shove for 12. And we're going to raise and call off this guy and fold to the other guy. We're just going to go with our hand here in the... Yep. And we managed to get some chips back, which is something. Not exactly what we wanted, though. We are going to jam over, like, really weak action from this guy. Or we can't really jam over, can we? This is way too deep. And that's not weak action. We're just going to fold. Getting dealt queens. Rest in peace, Elizabeth. In the bottom right. We're going to maybe raise fold in the bottom left if it folds to us. We're going to 3x. This guy limps. We'll just check, I guess. I like betting a little half pot action and look to have it all in by the river. We're going to check jam here on the right. Oh. I can't follow the action. We're gonna bet half pot for protection with our deuces. Oh, and we just eat dick in the bottom right. Alright, well, we'll sign up for another. I didn't even see what happened. We got it in with queens and we lost, though. So, yeah, it's kind of like the definition of eating dick. And he calls, unfortunately, in the top right. Not enough, fold equity 6. Nope. Okay. It's a fine shove, but... just runs into the top of his range a little bit. Kind of just been having quite a bit of that today. Yeah, just a lot of just getting snapped off by like ace-queen type hands. It's just a ton of that today. You know, and obviously it just like looks like a bit of justice because we're getting it in with the worst hand, but like that they have the hand that crushes us has been like pretty bad for us. So we're down like $50 on the day. So we are getting just pummeled. Almost at the edge of taking our being done taking our shot. So we have 7. What is this? 8 plus the one we're playing on the left here, and so this will be the last one we buy into. So if we don't get first in this bottom right table or do spectacularly in the bottom left, then we're going to be in rough shape. We are 6th, though, in the bottom left, and we're, you know, just hanging in there. Doing our thing. 6th out of 16. But yeah, not doing very hot overall today. Pretty good mental, though. I don't know. I don't feel, like, terrible. I'm just, like, recognizing that we're doing poorly. Like, I guess complaining about it a little bit here, but it's like, I don't know, what do? You get in your hands and you just run bad, and, like, that's how it goes, so, like... I know that, like, you can shove, like, 7-8, like we did on the top right, and it's unexploitable for 11 blinds. Also makes a good shove because it doesn't play very well as, like, call, and it doesn't play as well post-flop as a lot of other hands. You know, it's not like we shouldn't play the hand. And we do not have a... I mean, so you can make an argument we should have a balanced limping strategy, which we currently don't have. We're just either raising or shoving. And then we have an unbalanced limping strategy of just limping aces and kings only. Which is very exploitable, but... if you have a read on the population, as far as the population goes, limping is extremely weak, and so when we limp, we just look like another member of the population that's extremely weak. And occasionally they have aces. We ran into that when we shoved King 10 over a limp, using just like kind of the same logic, which is that this limp is basically not a hand. It's just extra dead money, so it makes it so that we can shove even wider, and then they just have aces. Which is, like, unlucky from a population perspective, but also we just, like, overall we kind of just print money shoving over limps, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think we can let this go for 8 blinds. Top right we get the bluff hand. The reason why ace-5 is like the bluff hand is because it has removal for aces, so they have less aces, and when they have a better ace, it has the highest equity out of any other ace. This is like a terrible flop for us. We do have a backdoor Alright, in the bottom left, we're just going to jam over the top of this, exploiting the limps. Against the min-bet lead, I'm just going to call, because we have the backdoor straight. And now we have the Broadway. But I think we can fold to a third pot. I don't think we're getting a good enough price. Especially when this other guy's calling, you know? And so, yeah, that guy was trying to buy a cheap second card with his suited ace. And that is often what is happening when people are leading small. So, we didn't have the right type of hand to punish him, though. We will raise if it folds to us. Did not fold to us. I think maybe we could come along. In the bottom left, we're going to look to raise fold this hand, I think. No, this is too weak. We're just folding. Gotta stay disciplined. It's not suited. Can't start playing crazy. We will play this as a raise if it folds to us in the bottom left. I think we can let go of the 8 deuce. Nice to pick up the blinds. I guess I should pull the Twitch chat to the front. The little computer that could, with my toaster, my brave little toaster. In the top right, this is a spot where we can maybe jam sometimes. I'm just going to call along. I actually kind of hate to call along. I should have just 3x'd with the king 9. Okay, well, we kind of flopped the perfect flop for calling along. This guy bets pot. That's spooky as hell. I mean, we're just gonna check call with top pair here. No draws came in. There were 2 draws. Yeah, just gonna check call. I don't know. Okay, he's betting an 8 for value. Weird pot size bet with bottom pair on the flop. Don't know if I like that one. Maybe we could have gone for thin value. I guess once he bets the turn small, we could lead the river. We could lead jam the river. I guess. Because if he's betting there on the river, he's probably calling. I don't know. Sevens are a weird hand here in the bottom left. We're just going to raise them, but... it's almost a hand we want to open shove, but I don't think we're at a stack depth that we want to be open shoving. We're definitely going to call the jam. We could jam over this guy. I think he folds. Yeah. And then we pick up the extra equity. I mean, oh, now we have too many outs. Don't like that. Oh well. We are going to bet, and we're going to bet third pot here up in the upper right, because again, not expecting him to call with a hyperabundance of 7s and 4s, and are going to expect to call him with some amount of jacks, though, so we're just going to check back and look to see a river. Weird size. I think we check back some jacks here, but it's such a small bet that I want to call. Just smells really bad. It doesn't look like a king at all. That was rough. I was really not sure if calling that was correct. It just smelled like he was trying to pick up the pot, you know, with the really small sizing. Like you don't bet a king for that sizing, so he has to be like on exactly a jack going for thin value. I hate getting min raise. We're just gonna check fold in the top right. I'm gonna check again. Could maybe have bet, but weird size. I'm gonna jam in the bottom right. Yeah, after getting min raised, it's like, I don't know, their range is usually pretty nutted. I didn't think our 8 or our 9 were going to be good there too often, which is kind of, I think, what you need in order for a call to make sense. But then, I mean, a call really makes sense. I thought we were just drawing very thin when that happens. Just get unlucky running into aces here. We're gonna need to jam pretty wide. I don't think this wide, but just unlucky with the aces. I think we fold the 6s here in the bottom left. We're just gonna check the 9-4. I don't know. Now we're gonna fold. Maybe we should have jammed so we could realize our equity. I mean, we have a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straights, but bottom right, or bottom left, I'm not sure how we want to play this. I don't think we're deep enough to jam yet. Or, I mean, we're shallow enough. This guy makes it easy on us, I suppose. Actually, that kind of makes me want to jam more, but I think we could fold this queen jack to this. We have to call this. So I guess we have kind of a bit of a chance in the bottom right, but we have to, I think, be all in with our hand. I didn't see the action in the bottom left, but it looks like they got it in. I'm gonna raise here. Kind of just be a little sick. This guy 3.5x's. I think I'm just gonna all in. Just go with it. Just have to get a little lucky in the bottom right. I don't know if that's correct. We're pretty short, so we kind of just gotta go with most things. And if he's considering folding for just like 100 more, or 80 more even, then like that's insane. Oh, and we just a wild ride seeing the 4s and then being like, oh, we're in great shape, and then seeing the set, and then being like, oh, we're fucked, and then realizing we have a flush draw too. This guy limps. I think we are just going to try and abuse this limp. Don't like it when we run into him. At least we have 2 live cards. We flop good. Definitely would have liked to do it on the more expensive tables. So we are done with our shot taking. Kind of just eating it on the day. In the bottom right, or in the top right, we're going to be jamming. We're just going to sit 2 tables for a little bit. Oh, I don't know if I want to jam over this, though. 6 blinds. I think we got to call it for 6, so he just has 9s. People just like aren't jamming like wide like ever, and so like from a math perspective, like you have to call like a certain width to avoid being exploited, except people aren't jamming frequently enough to exploit. Like, we were hoping that he was jamming with, like, Queen 10, Jack 9, these types of hands. This is a bit loose, actually, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's loose from the cutoff. It's fine from the button. We get it through. So I guess that's a little lucky. Let's let them play. Blinds go up in the bottom left. And we are 7th out of 14, so we do need to accumulate. This guy raises, making our life difficult. I guess I'll call. And then, like, stop and go him a lot when there's a heart. Because I'm expecting this guy to jam or fold, and probably jam most of the time. Which leaves me with this other guy. Gonna min raise here with the ace queen. Yeah, I think just check fold here on this flop. We'll expect him to check back aces, so... Well, now I think I'm gonna call with my king high. Really gonna call a min bet, I don't know. Just has fucking... I'm gonna call with ace queen. We have him dominated, which is nice. No ace, please. Managed to pick up a big pot in the bottom left. Get snapped off by queens. Coin flip. Can we win one? We cannot. No coin flips for us. Yeah, I don't know. Jamming sevens is definitely good. Well, with someone going over the top, we don't need to worry about it with the king 4 suited anymore. I don't think. We have to call with king queen suited. We will be ahead of most of his range, of course, the way things have been going. Yeah, so like this is what people should be jamming, and they never show up with it, but they showed up this time. So this is what I'm complaining about when I'm calling, and then like I run into the 9s, and I'm just like, come on, where's the 10-9 off? This is weird raise sizing. We're just gonna fold. This guy jams in the bottom right for 12. We don't need to fight over him with this hand. We're gonna be jamming. What's this? So gross, man. Just run into kings, okay. Oh, now they're gonna check down with each other. I'm gonna raise fold in the bottom left. Gonna rip in with king queen. Kind of sucks that he just has 25 more than us. So maybe we should have just flatted. I don't really. I'm gonna raise call, I guess, with the ace 9. Or we'll fold to him and call the other guy. Yeah, I mean, maybe we play the king queen there different because of ICM. It's just like mechanically we're playing it a little bit differently, but I don't know. Gonna bet for protection in the bottom left, and if he jams, we're gonna call. We are 5th of 11 in the bottom left, though, so we are in decent shape. We will uncheck the low stakes box. We are done there for now. And look to sign up for a $1 hyper. Like, stem the bleeding a little bit. Or just slow down the bleeding. As of right now, I think this is the most I've ever lost in a day, being down like 65 bucks. But that's like, I mean, that's kind of what you expect to happen when you're taking a shot at the higher. You know, if one of these goes just a little bit differently and we get first place instead, then, you know, we're only down 20 bucks on the day or whatever. This is not the most buy-ins we've ever lost in a day. 100% not. We're going to jam over a limp in the bottom left and just be kind of disgusted if he has better. The reason being is we actually should be ahead of his range with the king high. The king high plays pretty bad post flop. I also don't think this guy is limping a balanced range. I think his limps are mainly like low cards, like suited connectors, suited gappers, like these types of hands, and so we can punish. If he raises, then we're in an awkward spot. If it folds to us, we will be raising with the Jack-4 suited, and we will be raise folding probably. This guy to the left of us has jammed over our raise before. This guy plays so slow to the right of us, it's really annoying. So he might not jam over raises light, but it's kind of seeming like it. We are still going to raise with this. We're going to call with Queen Jack. Nice little calling hand. I'm just going to call. It's probably, I'm probably just frustrated calling there, but I just get lucky. The world's unfair. I think we just check called. We're just going to check call again. Kind of easy for him to have a 10. We block some of the draws, so it's less likely he's on a draw. He just bets pot. We're just going to jam. I think he has a 10 a lot here, but we just want to get our money in. There's no way he folds, right? Oh, he just has King Jack. What the fuck? That's so bad. Luckily, this was the $1 table, so it doesn't matter. Very much. Of course it matters. Yeah, it was the $1 table. Yeah, that guy was not messing about with us. The guy who had jammed on us the last 3 times we had raised into him. Which is kind of why we called. And then we just get lucky, because there's no justice. Maybe he had just nothing the other times, and then he just woke up with Ace-King. I would be complaining about getting unlucky if, I think this I just open jam. I think it's a strong enough hand that I can jam into this guy with the, what is this, 23 big blinds stack. And I want to have protection against overcards, which is going to be a lot of the time. Man, just, they love sticking it into you in the river. We are 10-handed though, so, and we are first of 10, maybe not anymore. I'm just going to fold. So in relatively good shape. We'll be wild if we get first place in this tournament. I'm going to raise with the Queen 10. If he jams, I'll be a little frustrated. Just kind of, generally getting kind of frustrated. At this point. I think that this makes a decent check back hand, but we're just going to do our thing. Paired board, betting 1/3 pot. You know, this is our standard MO on this type of board. It gets them to continue with a wider range. In theory, he's check raising. We're just going to check back, turn, and jam river, I think. I think he's check raising with a 4, in theory. And so when the queen comes, it's a really bad card for him. And then now he's trying to get value from ace high. I'm sorry, my friend, it's not ace high. I had a queen. Yeah, the check raise, just so dirty looking. Just like screams like the check min raise, rather. We are on break in the bottom left. We'll be coming back to being five-handed on another table. Ooh, this is a type of flop we want to bet small on. And then, if he just flats, we will overbet the turn. Unless a big, scary, well... What are you check raising with here on this flop? I guess we're just going to flat. Oh, my lag. I expect him to check shove a lot when he has like a 9 that he check raised flop and then he got spooked. Yeah. I don't know what the king 6 business is about, but I don't like it sucking out on me on the river. I am going to shove for 13 with the deuces. Also, that's such a bad check raise on the flop with, like, bottom pair. Or maybe a second pair? I don't know. Just getting shellacked. Blinds are up really big in the bottom left at this point. I guess I'll pull the chat to the front. We have a hand we'll probably be all in with in the top right. We won't be all in if there's like a jam and a call. It's kind of the way to look at it. We will call a jam. If this guy calls, then we'll be a little sick and we'll probably fold. It's not too much more, though. You know? Definitely can't fold. Nice little bit of luck, I guess. Gonna raise call in the bottom right. Someone min raises. I guess we can just call with this. Maybe we're supposed to jam here. He checks to us. We have one of the strongest hands we could have. This is also a flop we'll want to bet big on. We will check to the raiser and then we'll just kind of look to check, get it in maybe. Especially into such a small bet. There's kind of a couple draws out there. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe we're supposed to check call when he bets small there. I don't know. We kind of had very much so the best top pair we could have because we're raising ace-king, right? Or ace-queen. And maybe we're just not supposed to have a raising range there. We will check back with bottom pair. Alright, we will check back again. And now we'll bet half pot and maybe try and get value from a king high or a 3. And we just split with a 7. That seems reasonable. We were going to bet huge in the top right for protection. We will call a bet. Jam. Alright, just, gross. Gross. Don't like it. We're gonna jam with king 8. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for... I think check jam is a little bit better with the flush draw, but I certainly don't think it's a mistake. I think we have to jam this on the bottom right. We're going to stop and go this guy on the right. I guess we don't need to because he just jams. He just jams with fucking set. That's so gross and unlikely. We do make the final table in the bottom left. So things are looking good for us in the top right, that we will at least win this main pot. We have a limp, and we are going to jam over, because these limping ranges are weak. And this is something we could jam from the small blind into the big blind, and so we're going to do so. Might be a jam for a 4. A little unlucky to run into that. A little unlucky for him to... yeah. I think this is a jam? I don't know what this is. I'm like, my understanding of like cutoff jam rates are like, is much worse. We are first of 9 here. So, in pretty good shape. Gross, the 10's not even an out anymore for him. The bottom right, we will jam if we can stop lagging. We will be all in the top right with Queen 8. If he limps, we are just going to stop and go him. A little unlucky on the bottom right, I think. I didn't quite see what he had. Gross that he just flops 2 pair, leads into us. Why do you lead there? And we just have top pairs, so we just like have to eat it. Just run in. Yeah, like it's not like we can fold top pair. We will raise. Probably gonna raise fold just because I think people will be under bluffing both against us and like in this spot. God damn it, dude. We're gonna min raise with the 3s. Gonna all in with the ace queen, even over the 5x raise. Gonna try and build a pot here in the bottom, in the top right. It just has to hit it on the river on us. That's like classically how it has to go, right? We bet small. We were trying to get it in by the river with our set. No takers for value. Okay. See, I think we busted out of one of these ones on the bottom. $1 one. Yeah. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here over this weird... When people bet like weird size, I like never know what to do. I think we're gonna fold the 5-6. This is pretty early position to be raising that. I think we're just supposed to raise it occasionally, and we are gonna choose to fold here. We are definitely not playing into that. We get a bit of a family pot. We flop bottom pair, but we don't like it really. So we're just gonna check fold 5-way with the bottom pair. Because when we're behind, it's going to be very difficult for us to improve. I guess maybe if it checks around, we can bet like a third pot. Well, I'm not folding for that much. As 5 gets there, I'm still not folding for a min bet. Yeah. Fair enough, my friend. We can either call or raise with king queen. I like it as a call here just because their raising ranges are usually a lot of these people have raising ranges and open calling ranges, and we try and play a little bit more passive against their raising ranges and a little more aggressive against their calling ranges. And it like plays out nicely for us because both these guys wanted to get it in, and we do not want to play king queen against that type of range. Maybe we would against one person who wants to get in, but certainly not two. Kind of funny we would have been okay, but. Don't think we need to call this. Another thing to remember in the bottom left is that we do not need to accumulate chips. We only need to have chips at the very end when there's 3 people left. Getting some lag on the bottom right. Kind of want to check how long we've been streaming, but I don't think OBS tells us how long. They tell us how long we've been recording if we're recording. Ugh. And we are probably going to play this as a raise fold, if it folds to us with the jack-8. I do think this might be the guy who's... No, this isn't the guy who's been jamming over our raises repeatedly. So this guy ought to respect our raises like a pretty high amount. We are lagging, though, so that's like not ideal. We're still lagging. Alright. We are playing a little more snug than we need to, I think, or we will on the bottom left. And the reason why is we are doing it because of ICM reasons. We don't really need to accumulate chips. The chips we have in our stack are more valuable than any chips. Oh, no, wait. This isn't... Accumulating chips is useful. I take it all back. Kind of tempted to raise here in the bottom left. So I was talking about accumulating chips. I'm must be out of my mind because we were playing the triple up earlier, where you don't need to accumulate. But here, there's way more money up top, and so we actually want to accumulate chips. So we scratch everything I said about not playing aggressive. Oh, we almost squeezed with this because we know the limping ranges are weaker. Oh, son of a bitch. Could have been, you know. Although I don't know if I would have liked this. Yeah, we would have ran into it then. Flopped straight. Huh. The bottom right, we have a weird decision whether to bet for protection or not. Facing a weird lead. We're gonna raise it. And then look to check back. And if both of them continue against our raise, we'll be pretty scared. But I think if you have a 7 and someone min-bets into you, you're like... I'm going to check back now with the ace. It's such a good bluff spot for him. It's also not that big a bet. It's only half pot. I don't think we're raising too often with ace, so I think we're just gonna... Yeah, he just has it. But don't like when they bet. It's when there's a side pot. It's a really small bet, though. I don't know what it means. Our ace high might be good. Probably not. It's definitely not good against a min-raise. Holy shit. Yeah. Getting proper fucked today. Still, we've run pretty deep, and we're almost in the money in the bottom left. This just looks weak. I'm gonna jam. I'll have decent equity when I get called. The button limps are just usually pretty weak. Yeah. I'm gonna jam if it folds to me. If he limps, I might jam again. Gonna jam again. Fool me once, shame on you. So I'll expect his range to look a little bit stronger, because we just jammed on him, and him to call a little bit wider, but even still, I think this is a good spot. And then now he might start limping with a more balanced range, trying to limp with a strong hand and catch us jamming over his limp, if he thinks that we're coming after him specifically. But again, good spot. If he limps, we might do it again. Because this is a hand we would want to jam from this position for this amount behind us. Yeah, we're gonna do it again. So, like 10 big blind jam. Might have to call ace deuce there. Getting close to the bubble though. He folds again. Oh, he must be so steamed. We're gonna jam if he limps with the fours. Oh, I want to squeeze so bad with the 7-5 here. But this guy limped from really far under the gun, so I'm not going to. Yeah, or sorry, the 7-5 suited. Wasn't watching. Apparently the 4s didn't hold up. 8's in good shape here. It's too many outs. I'm not going to make a bet here unless it gets to the river. Oh, fold with queen deuce suited. It's just too deep. There's too many people to get through. Although, what am I saying when I bet here? I'm saying I have a 4, right? And I can have a 4 because I'm in the big blind. Just a little half pot bet. I don't think anyone has a jack here. I don't think they have a king here. Like, I think this bet gets through a lot. It's for a huge portion of people's stacks. And they're very unlikely to have, like, the 4 is very unlikely to, they are unlikely to have spiked it on the river unless they have, like, ace 4 suited or something. Or king 4 suited, I don't know. We'll probably fold this if it gets to us. I guess we can raise just because this guy ought to be pretty scared of us. for ICM reasons. If someone else is in the pot, I think we'll just fold though. In the bottom left. Yeah, it'd be nice if this guy shoves, makes it really straightforward. We are going to raise the ace-deuce suited. This is too weak to raise normally from a small blind position, but we are counting on the ICM factor, making him play more conservatively, especially against us, because he is the second biggest stack. He's in good shape to money, but if he plays a big pot with us, he can get fucked over, and he raises us, so we'll just be done. Guy probably has to call off a lot. Kind of just want to get dealt these types of hands in the bottom right because we're going to jam the top right. Don't necessarily love our hand. Ugh, this is such a weird spot with the ace-9. We're just going to flat. We don't have a diamond, don't have a jack. Did this other guy call? And we're lagging. It's a bit unfortunate. Might just save us some money in the bottom right that we are lagging. I don't know why we've been having technical difficulties recently. We're lagging super hard though. Don't really want to be lagging like this in the top right, but yeah, I still got nothing right now. Still lagging. Still can't do anything. We're super shallow in the two boards on the right. I don't even know if like my audio is getting recorded right now, so. But we are super shallow in the two stacks on the right, so this actually is just like eating a ton of equity. Actually, super annoying. Alright, I think we're back now. Have to call anything in the top right. Pretty frustrating to miss those like really key important hands. As well as I was thinking of calling with the ace-9 there. We'll not get to find out. So... This guy understands what's up with the jams. We're going to be jamming, I think, with the ace-8. this is a good spot to pick up some chips. The limping ranges are just weak. Yeah. Don't like that he's thinking this long. I think he will eventually fold. If he doesn't, we'll be in bad shape. Holy hell, the lag. We're just going to record that loss later, I guess. Because I want to try and keep an eye on the tables. Oh, and he calls. And doubles up. And we don't even get to see the hand. That's so fucking annoying. I'm just trying to get really frustrated at this point because of the lag. I didn't get to see what happened. I think that it was an okay spot for us. We are going to be jamming this for 7 blinds. I think we're just not going to sit any more tables as well. We'll record that we lost on one of these. A little tempted to add that we half lost because of technical difficulties, but lagging again here. Oh my god. Holy fuck. I wanted to call. Gonna raise fold. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna raise fold on the left, but it's really not how we want to play this. I think we have to jam. Okay, well, we're gonna bet small here. Because this is a type of flop that they don't play very well. They overfold when it's an ace and a couple low cards. Gonna check back because we got no equity if he's got an ace. We're gonna jam the river if he checks to us. Just bets a little bit. There are two. Maybe this is a spew. Yeah, it's a spew. Fucking A. Oh my god. We missed the hand too. It's such a good jam spot. Alright. So buy in on this thing. On this bad boy, it's 11 bucks. So we will go to our tournaments and say we lost 11 here. So 27-12. Or sorry, 17. Even our freaking... This is lagging. This guy probably has a good hand because there's like no sense in juicing the pot. I mean, we have second pair. We don't have a club. I'll just fold. And he's got fucking third pair. God damn. Just really rough day. God, that's so fucking stupid, too. He's like, he shouldn't be doing that with a fucking third pair. Because I can just continue with only hands that are good, like, because there's a side pot. I'm gonna be all in with this ace. Just really also just getting kicked in the nuts in all ends. Kind of like a bet here. Because we have a backdoor flush. Get min raise. What the fuck is min raising here? We're just gonna call. The min raise, there's like no min raise that makes sense. Or I guess if you have a full house, right? Like you have 7s or 4s and you min raise and then you don't bet the turn because you hit a full house. Yeah, we could go into my account, see how much money I've lost in the last 24 hours, and just see exactly how much I'm down on the day. It's pretty rough though. It's not a good day. Maybe this is what makes us lag, just the accumulation of these at the bottom. Yeah, on the... Oh my god. Serious. We're gonna give it a minute, and then force close stuff. And then reopen to play our last table. But yeah, like we started up 24 on the day. We still haven't recorded the loss and the triple up. So yeah, we just fucking punted after being like so patient. Just like what was going on all the other tables, I think just got to us. Like the guy had what he looked like he had at the end with the weak ace, and I think you're never folding there. And so he's just trying to play the weak ace conservatively at the start, which is why he looks weak. But he's also not like ever laying it down when you jam the river for just a little bit more. It's like, and so that was a bit of a punt. I think other than that, kind of just did a lot of running into it. I don't know, maybe not. I'll have to watch the video back. If there's any spots I think I just like punted off like really hard, you can feel free to leave it in the comments. God, it takes forever to load. Also, just these technical... The really frustrating thing, more than the, like, just losing, has been technical, like, the lagging and this stuff. Which, like, there's... Like, right now I'm just blinding away on the last table. And there's nothing I can do about it. I guess I could get a new computer. That would be the solution. It's fucking hot as fuck in my room, so I think my computer's just like overheating. It's just the thing that makes it annoying is just like the lack of control, and it's like not only is it a lack of control, it's like a lack of control like outside the scope of the game. And we have the right login information, and it does this sometimes, and it's like pretty annoying as a program. This is like the technical difficulty we were having at the start of the stream, is we have the right login info, and it's telling us we don't. See, we didn't even update anything. And we want to get back to our table. Take my seat. And so, yeah, just like... we're gonna start making our... Oh, we're good enough for now. So, with not including the table we're on, we are down, this is $90 on the day. I think the biggest downswing we've ever had on a single day before, it's been like 40 bucks. Although we're not down all that many buy-ins. The reason why we're down so much is because we lost money on our shot-taking spot. We lost 3 buy-ins here, which is like a third of our downswing. Also just lost a ton of like hypers here. You know, we are at 38% win rate and now we're at 36. I don't think we won a single one of these. We also lost a fair bit of $1 ones, but that's like much less consequential. And we lost the yeah, I mean it was really a punt towards the end with the move that over there. Towards the end, we really punted the 27 person one with the guy who had the ace and was like, I don't even think it was sticky. He was just playing it cautiously, so he looked weak, and so we just jammed over. And it was like a jam of frustration. It was like, I'm tired of running into it. I'm tired of lagging. I'm gonna jam. And we lose. I mean, occasionally that jam will work, right? But I don't think. I think his play looked like it, like really looked like what he had, and I think that they fold that really infrequently. Like that's just a terrible bluff spot. Like, especially after we check turn. You know, I just think we got a cheap price for our bluff on the flop, on the ace high board. He didn't fold. People underfold there, so we should overbelieve them when they continue, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, and we're just going to be all in with our queen deuce here. There's no action we're going to fold over the top of. We are just going to stop and go him, though. Rather than just, well, I guess... I still don't think we can fold over this action. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's a fold just because they're all getting it in. Yeah, maybe it's just... Another deuce would be hilarious. Yeah. But we're done. Marking it up. Yeah, just ate a lot of dick today. Down $96. Bit unfortunate. I mean, this happens when you take a shot sometimes, so like this is just how it goes. We did get to our goal, which is we wanted to play 10 buy-ins, so here's 6 here, 9, and then plus the 1 that we have in the tournaments for the 3 table, because we don't have a spreadsheet slot for the 3 table. So we did do what we wanted. We got smacked down. We'll take another crack at moving up when we get to about up 20 buy-ins on the $5 ones, which is what we were up like 20 buy-ins before, and we've just like lost a whole ton on the $5 tables. So we're gonna switch back to just playing $5 tables. Yes, this is just yeah, we've just been running really bad, just running into it a lot. When we have our jamming hands, you know, just running into a lot of like big pocket pairs, big aces, and also just not winning flips and winning all-ins. And I don't know, that's a lot of what the hypers are. So I don't know, you get it in, and sometimes they pick you off with 2 overcards and you're like 30-70 dog, but you still should win about a third of those. So I don't know, pretty rough. I guess we've been streaming for a while now. It's 2 hours. This is a really rough session. Going back over this session will hopefully be really useful. I think we did do a good job kind of to keeping it together. Obviously we lost it at the end, but just a lot of so like this is like something that's kind of like, it's true in life and in like, it's true in poker and in life. If there is when you're trying to be good at something, oftentimes what people do is they try and improve their very best performance, and they try and make their very best performances better. But this is, they just keep on trying to move the bar of their very best performances, and they don't really think about their worst performances. And one of the ways you can improve at anything, and one of the most underused ways of improving at something, is improving how well you do when you're doing poorly. So we're doing poorly in the poker right now, and so one of the ways you can get a lot better at poker and just beat people and beat the game a lot more is that when you lose money, you try and lose a lot less money. You know, when you have a bad day, you try and not go on tilt, because if you can avoid going on tilt, you'll lose a lot less money. I think we tilted off at the end, but I think it was at the end of a large string of like stuff not going well. The day started pretty poorly to begin with us just having technical difficulties and like losing 1 buy-in, I think. And so like we're down 96 on the day, but like 5 of that is like just having technical problems. And we had some technical problems at the end. I don't know how much equity, like, you could say that I lost, like, not being able to see my hands, because, like, obviously if I had kings and it folded and I, like, would have doubled up, it's, like, a much different game, right? And so, looking back over, when I look back over this, like, session, I think one of the things I'm going to try and pay attention to is how much we were able to try and, like, keep everything together and not get upset, even though we weren't doing too well. Because if we do a good job of that, you know, like, that's, like, kind of the thing we have the most control over. And, you know, folding when we should jam when it's marginal, or jamming when we should fold when it's, like, marginal, when we're talking about something that when you play it out over 1,000, like, times, it's only, like, 1 or 2% edge. Like, that's not the big deal. What's the big deal is, like, avoiding really bad spots, which we didn't do at the very end. With the 3 table, I really just punted off against that guy who looked like the flop came like ace like 7 deuce, like with a flush draw or something, and we had like queen 9, or I forget what we had, and we bet small because people will overfold the ace-high boards. But when we have the read that people overfold the ace-high boards, when they don't fold, you know, you can't have it both ways. They can't, like, overfold on this board, and, like, also when they're like calling with something bad. You can't have simultaneously have both population reads. That's like just playing hope poker, where you just hope that they don't have it, which was kind of what our jam at the end was. So we bet small, turn goes check, check, then he bets into us. He bets into us really small, and it looks weak, And so maybe that's why we jammed more than anything, is what he did like looked really weak. It didn't like look like a normal size bet, but he had a weak ace and he was trying to set his price on the river, and so we jammed, and then he just called off, because when you have top pair you kind of just call off, especially if the turn checks through, because people's ranges look way weaker once that happens. And so like I just think that that's a spot we need to find a fold, and we hate it, but like we go back to playing like jam fold pre after that, and maybe we can try and dink out like fourth or fifth place and like get $30-40 back, something like this, or maybe even like win it all at like the top end and get 100 back. And so yeah, it was like it was a time we needed to not punt, but at the same time it's I definitely understand that we were at that juncture, we had already gotten quite frustrated, and we're feeling, and it was like it was more than just the runs bad frustration. Like the frustration that really gets to me is the computer like running bad frustration when we are just losing hands to lag. Like we wanted to call with the ace 9 on the jack high board when the guy jammed because I didn't think he believed it, and that was one of our stronger aces we could have, or something like this. And okay, maybe that call wouldn't have been good. It would have been kind of marginal, to be honest. So like maybe if fold saves us money, that's kind of what we told ourselves at the time, because we're trying not to tilt over the fact that our computer's like having a heart attack. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might be rambling now. Anyways, if you're on the YouTube, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and have a good one.